Recently, I've been getting recommended a lot of shield only challenge run videos on YouTube, but I feel like the Visage shield would make them pretty easy. So in this run, I'm going to try to make the Visage shield as OP as possible while killing all bosses to see how well it fares on a large variety of enemies. After grabbing the wet blade at Gatefront, I got Torrent from Malenia and then went back to the Church of Ella to grab the Spirit Calling Bell from Ronnie and picked up the Golden Foulfoot. I grabbed the Strength tier by the Troll. After getting the Golden Bow Ash of War from the Knight, it was time for an Injustice. I grabbed the Sleep Pot Cookbook and picked up the Visage at the First Church America before running to the Minor Erdtree to get the Charge Attack tier. I went to Fort Height and got the Bloody Slash Ash of War and the first half of the Dectus Medallion. I made my way over to Summon Water and killed D for his armor and picked up the Green Turtle Talisman. For some reason, I also killed the Tibia Mariner even though I hadn't gotten the shield yet. I would need to have 44 strength to wield the Visage shield, so I made my way through Caelid to kill Grail for runes, then picked up the Guts Gravesword from the carriage by Kayla Marie to use against the Mad Pumpkinhead duo to get the Visage shield. After leveling up, I went to Liurnia to pick up the Landspit Spirit Ashes for the fight. While the Landspits poisoned and distracted the duo during the fight, I wailed on them with the Greatsword. Once the Landspits died, I just ran around letting the poison do its work. After finishing them off, I was able to finally claim my prize and get the Visage Great Shield and properly start the run. After getting the shield, I went to Smithing Master EG to buy the first 3 Somber Stones and then upgrade it to +2 because I couldn't quite afford +3. Afterwards, I went and killed the Putrid Avatar in Caelid for the Fire and Stamina Cracked Tears. I didn't have enough stamina to use the Ash of War, so I just beat it to death with the shield's heavy attacks. With the money from the Erdtree Avatar, I got the shield to +3, and then went to Volcano Manor using the Academy shortcut to pick up the Somber Stones 5 and 6. I went on to kill Margit for an extra talisman slot, and to get runes. Which I used to upgrade the weapon to +6. I then made my way to the Ruined Precipice to fight Magmaworm Makar to get into Altus. I wanted to get the Great Shield Talisman to reduce stamina loss by 20% when shielding an enemy attack. The Visage Shield's Ash of War fires as long as you have FP and stamina while also blocking attacks. So the best way to use it is to maximize stamina and fire damage.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
After grabbing the Great Shield Talisman, I fought Demi-Human Queen Galica for the Ritual Sword Talisman in case I had an open slot in the build. I then fought the Mad Pumpkinhead blocking Sorcerer Selin and bought the Scholar's Shield from her shop, which casts over your left-handed shield to block 30% of stamina loss while shielding. After buying a staff and leveling up my intelligence to 12, I now had 50% stamina loss reduction while blocking, allowing me to use the Ash of War for much longer, which really started to bring the build's DPS together. I went to the Rot Cave and killed the Clean Rot Knight duo to get my favorite talisman, the Golden Scarab. I'll swap it on after boss fights to get 20% more room. Next up was Red Wolf, who as in most runs got melted before he could take advantage of the fact that I can't dodge him at all. For Renala, the first phase went quickly as expected, but I realized on my first attempt that I couldn't use the Ash of War in the second phase, so I came back and beat her easily, just staggering her out of all of her attacks with the heavies. After Renala, I went on to Godric and took him down easily. I was able to tank his attacks with the Ash of War, and thanks to the setup, had plenty of stamina left over to keep attacking. After he was defeated, I claimed the talisman pouch from the finger reader for having 2 great runes and slotted in the fire scorpion charm. That meant my build was more or less complete with the great shield talisman, warrior jar shard, and the fire scorpion charm, plus the fire tier in my physics. Tree Sentinel was very fun as I had to manage my stamina to be able to block his powerful hits while attacking without running out of stamina and getting hit. The fight was fairly quick, although he does have a decent bit of fire absorption. I killed the Putrid Avatar and Dragon Barrow for some extra runes. I made my way over to Radon. I picked up Flame Grant Me Strength along the way to use later in the run. Radon was giving me problems with dodging his gravity attacks because they go through the shield, so I moved on to fighting Golden Godfrey, who I was able to kill after about 30 minutes of trying. With the final talisman pouch, I equipped the green turtle talisman. I then went and cleared out all the bosses from Limgrave and Liurnia. After those bosses, I cleared out Caelid proper, saving Dragon Barrow for later. Once I cleared out much of the minor bosses, I took on Radon, who this time went down easily first try, so I guess a couple extra levels was all I needed. After killing the Dragonkin Soldier and Ancestor Spirit in Seal for a Riverwell, I went on to kill the bosses in Altus. I tried fighting Lance's axe, but she was too hard, so I decided to just come back to the fight later. I made my way to the sewers to fight Moog, and after a few tries got the elevator skip. I didn't really know how to fight Moog, so killing him was going to be brutal. He has an 80% fire resistance, so I had to use my shield's melee attacks. Knowing the fight was going to be tough, I went and got the Somber 7 from the sewers, killed a funny Hatman, and then picked up the Somber 8 and 9 stones from Kaled to get my shield to +9. After a couple of hours, I was able to kill him. I just had to prioritize sticking up close so I could roll through his swipes and punish him mostly with light attacks. After clearing the capital in the main part of Altus, I went to Mount Gelmir to clear out the bosses there.
Yeah, boy.
After killing some of them, I went to Dragon Barrow and got stuck on the Bellbearing Hunter, so after killing all the other Dragon Barrow bosses, I went back and took out Lance's axe. After Lance's axe, I took out the Mimic Tier and then fought the Regal Ancestor Spirit.
Yeah, boy.
The only challenge he posed was me having to input 2 attacks instead of 1. After grabbing the Curse Mark of Death, I killed Fortisax, who was actually pretty hard due to the slow nature of my attack. I kept getting hit by the static lightning that follows you when you're near him, but after a few attempts he went down. After fighting more cave bosses, I made my way to Estelle, who I was probably over leveled for, so I just out-damaged him and won on the first attempt. Although his gravity attacks were able to damage me through the shield, so there was some added difficulty. I killed Glintstone Dragon Adula, although I sadly forgot to record the kill, which made me realize I also forgot to record the Margit kill. He went out pretty easy as I staggered him frequently and was just able to keep attacking and win. After reliving the greatest moment in gaming history, I killed the Godskin Noble. And went on to other Mountaintop bosses. After killing all the Gelmir bosses minus Rykard, I went back to try and kill the Bell-Bearing Hunter. After several hours of on and off trying throughout the run, I finally beat the Bell-Bearing Hunter. The key was to try to constantly have my shield up and prioritize attacking over healing. I then went to the snowfields to take out more bosses. Fire Giant was very tedious, but not actually very hard. He went down on the second try after a long battle. The first phase was pretty easy, with it essentially being like any other melee weapon. But due to the poor range, it was very hard to hit his wrist in the second phase, so I had to whittle him down by attacking his feet. After Fire Giant, I took out the bosses in Consecrated Snowfield. Estelle Stars of Darkness was surprisingly tough, so I went to Pharrell Mazula, leaving it for later. The Godskin duo wasn't too bad, though they do have a fairly chunky fire resistance, so I wasn't able to fully kill them while they were still asleep. I sleep potted both of them, fully buffed, and killed each. After killing the Apostle, I ran out of FP and had to narrowly dodge the Noble. I killed him with a heavy attack to clutch out the fight. I picked up the Somber Dragon Smithing Stone, and then went to fight Malenia. The first phase wasn't an issue, For the second phase, I just had to wait for the large openings to stagger him or get a good chunk of damage off all at once. I fought Gideon, who I just staggered over and over and easily won. Horaloo was up next, and the first phase was pretty simple. I just shielded through his hits like the first time with Golden Godfrey. In the second phase, he has much longer combos and strong grab attacks, so I had to try to play it more safe, but I was able to tank through and win on the third try. Bruh. I went back and killed Estelle Stars of Darkness afterwards, and went down pretty easy now that I had a few more levels. Also remembered to finally get my shield to +10. Loretta was annoying as always, but didn't pose any actual threat. I moved on to Radagon and Elden Beast. Radagon was easy and could be quickly killed by a few Asha Wars. Elden Beast was pretty hard as he has limited opening and I had to rely mostly on heavy attacks which dragged out the fight. With some practice I was able to win though reasonably quickly. Afterwards, I took out Placenta Tax, who is pretty hard as he has high fire resistance and well, I'm just not good at him. After improving at the fight though, he went down after a lengthy battle.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
I respect at Renala for strength to use heavy attacks instead of the Ash of War before fighting mode. This was the hardest fight of the run other than Malenia. While my skills gained from fighting super mode helped with the first phase, I had to completely learn from scratch his second phase. My build was definitely less than ideal for this fight. Eventually, after about 5 hours, I was able to beat him. For the first phase, I just stayed close and rolled into his swipes using his countdown attacks to get extra damage. His second phase was very hard for me, but eventually I realized I just had to stay close so I could roll his swipes and dodge the blow. I kept punishing him, and I would shield and play it safe anytime there was distance between me and him, and I was able to get the win. I then tried Rykard. The first phase wasn't too bad, but the second phase was near impossible. I went and grabbed the Icon Shield to heal, but the second phase was still too much. I could hardly hit him as he kept moving and has awkward hitboxes, and I was constantly getting bombarded by skulls. I beat the first phase with the shield, but the second with the Serpent Hunter. This fight is probably still possible, but it just didn't seem like something I'd be able to do without 15 plus hours of trying. The second to last boss left was Malenia, so I respec'd back to the usual Ash of War build. Her first phase was pretty easy, I just needed to manage my stamina so I was never going to run out of it while attacking. Her second phase was brutal. Most of my attempts were lost in this phase. Her aggressive nature made it harder to get away when my stamina was low or to recast Scholar's Shield. I mostly tried to bait out the same few attacks then run away to prepare for my next counterattack. The stupid rock clone attack was the main thing that kept killing me, but this attempt she only did it once and I was far enough away to be able to dodge it. The fight was definitely very hard, but this is honestly a pretty decent build for her, and I think for most people it would have been easier, but I've only beat her once up until this point, so the difficulty was definitely skewed. Finally, it was time for the boss we've all been waiting for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any recommendations for a run for me to do, please comment them and make sure to like and subscribe, as the recording and editing of this video did take me about 65 hours.